What's up, y'all? It's your boy JC. We breaking down Mach 10 on Jaymin, Sweet Nothings. So on this record right here, Mach 10, Jaymin and I was in a deep bag. Anytime you see us go like this, you know, if you know, you know. We wasn't only focusing on the quality, but the quantity, and we were just getting it in, just trying to get as many reps as we could. We was in New York at the moment, and it's just one of those feelings where, you know, we did a couple unreleased records. If you know, you know.
All right, cool. So here we go. When I start this beat, it kind of started off like a little drill vibe. So you can kind of see I had some kicks here. Actually, I started with a hi-hat, so I'll show you guys the hi-hat pattern right here. So that's... So at first it kind of wouldn't make sense, but as we started building the beat, I added another hi-hat and I layered that, so we kind of went here with it. So now you can start seeing that we start to get the bounce. That's one thing I like to do when I make my beats, is just before I even add any snares or any kicks like that, I really like to just get my bounce going. Another way I do that after setting my hi-hats is just adding perks, man, until I get that feeling of the bounce that I'm looking for. So the next perk I added right here was this right here. It's called Ready. It's just like a little triangle. And I just kind of kept layering from there. I think I got 2 more perks right there. Let me see. What's this one right here? Open hi-hat. So right there, you can kind of see that we're starting to settle that bounce. The next part I really want to start adding, and this is something that at this time with our beats, I was really heavily using this snare. I ain't even gonna lie, but this joint came out hard. So I just kind of added a heavy hitting snare right here. Alright. And then I kind of added in a little snare to kind of like give it, I guess, more R&B, I guess. It was kind of like more of a reverb snare on it. And it just kind of gave it some more space. So you can hear it right here. Flavor. One more time. Boom. So we got that. It's almost inevitable. Now we got to add kicks. Originally, I'm going to play these joints right here for you guys because, like I said, it was kind of on some drill stuff. So I added these 2 kicks right here. Take the snares out. See how I got that little sexy drill wave? Right. So that's where I was going with it at first, but I'm like, man, we ain't doing that. So like, how do we make it us? So like I said, we put that snare on it, and then we go kick right here. This is the kick pattern that I ended up using. That's the kick pattern right there. Boom. And you know you gotta add the inevitable. Listen to these little, you know, if you know, you know. Just ear candy. So at that point, I think I'm only missing 1 perk that I got here, and it's called Pony. Pony is crazy. I'll play this joint for you guys though. All right, quick. And that kind of gives it some more bounce. Okay. So boom, now you're probably thinking, all right, well, that don't sound like the full beat. So of course I added another pattern. So at that point I had my pattern set, and this was the first pattern. This is pattern 2. It kind of went like this. And then I added this third pattern right here, and that kind of turns it all the way around and kind of goes like this. That's how you make the loop turn around. You feel me? So all in context, it would sound something like this. You gotta have a turnaround. All right, here it go. All right, let me bring everything back in. How could I forget the good old 808, baby? Forgot that. All right, with the 808. Hey. Very unorthodox, but that's what really gives this song that bounce. With the loop, all in context, it sounds like this. Hey. That turn around. So that's pretty much the beat breakdown of that song. So after we make our records, we got a very unique recording process on how we get to our final product. I'm hearing a lot of artists do it now, but you know, it's something we've been doing. It's something that actually makes our records really unique, and I like how it comes out. So originally it kind of sounded more like this. And then after we add the VS, it sounds like this. So it just gives it a whole nother bounce, gives it a whole nother flavor. The way we record into it is super dope as well. So you can just start to hear how when you listen to Jaymin's music and everything, how these are incorporated, and it just gives it a really unique sound. It's not something we do all the time, but it's definitely something we like to do a lot. And yeah, here's Mach 10. You can hear in the song, he even says, introduce you to my cousins. They really like my brothers. And that's just really how we are. You know, right or wrong, we still get after it. We still show love. If you listen to Jaymin's music and really dissect his lyrics, I think something that's really special about him is that it's a lot about love. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's in a romantic way, whether that's about family, whatever it is, it's a lot of love in the music, and that's definitely a change of pace where we're a lot of times been in a climate of toxic music and or just a certain energy. So I think the reason his music really does well and it cuts through is because it's talking about something different. So I think Mach 10 is one of those records where you get that different vibe, not only sonically and musically, but even lyrically in the climate that we're in. So this record is very special to me. Not only that, but it's my first industry placement, and there's no better person to have it with than my family. So I'm looking forward to more. We really got some really hot stuff coming for you guys. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. But for now, I want you guys to continue to bump Sweet Nothings, continue to run Mach 10 up, continue to show love, and hopefully we'll be back with more.